Here's the supplies that we should need for this. Um, if you're doing the full flush like I am, where I'm going to run distilled water through it a few times, may as well pick up as many of these gallons of distilled water as you want. They're $1.20 at my local grocery store, so I picked up 8. Probably more than I need, but hey, I've got extra supplies and I guess drinking water if I need to. The other thing that you will need for this car will be the concentrate for the coolant. You'll notice this is the Asian green version from Peak. Toyota has usually used the red or pink color, but this car was built by Mazda, of course, and they use the green. So Mazda, anything after 1990 and newer, that's what we want to use. And again, I picked up the concentrate. You could pick up the pre-mix if you wanted to do that as well, but you just got to be careful to get the right mix in there when you put it in. That always comes as 50-50. So I like to use this, and I'll show you how I do it here in a second. Another thing that we need to get, just to be on the safe side, go ahead and get yourself some gloves. You don't really want this stuff on your skin. It's not really the best for you. And tools, what I recommend, socket set. Don't need one as big as this. You really just need like an 8mm socket and a ratchet to take it off. And then this is an optional thing. You just need a really just need a funnel to do this. But I picked up this really cool little spill-proof funnel kit designed for coolant changes. I'll show you how to use that as well. Underneath the car, on the driver's side, is a tiny little access panel right about here. You'll see it has an 8mm bolt holding it in place, so you just want to go ahead and take that off. This will get you access to the drain port on the radiator. I don't have a better angle for you, and I'm sorry. This is a little hard to get to. It's easy to get to from a person, but as far as filming goes. Once you have the access port out of the way, and just safely off to the side here, slide a drain pan underneath this. It's going to be a tight fit, but you'll be able to reach up underneath there with your hand and undo the petcock valve, which will let the radiator drain out. I do recommend that for this, you wear gloves, because you do not want to get this antifreeze on your hands, on your skin. Go ahead and undo it from the bottom here, and it'll start to flow out. Just make sure you have the top of it already opened up, and it will drain out, and this is why we wear gloves. And give it about a good 5 minutes or so, just going to drain out completely. You'll have better luck if you open up the top port on the radiator to let air come out. Or let air go in, I should say, so you can drain it all out. Now that we've finished draining the coolant, let's go ahead and just kind of pull it out and take a look at what we got here. Kind of hard to see, but it looks in decent shape. Didn't quite get a gallon out of it, but that's normal. Let's go ahead and close up the petcock valve. Let me slide under here and do that. And we don't need to put the cover back in place. We just want to close the valve off. So we'll go ahead and screw that in until it's nice and tight. Do be careful not to over tighten here. There we go, tight. Got my little funnel put in place here. This one I use the green adapter for out of the kit. You may get any kit, could be any different color. The green doesn't mean anything, it just matches the same little nozzle on it. I want to put water in here and then let it drain out. I'll probably put a whole gallon in that bucket here, and then we'll see how it goes. Should have looked at that, but it's not quite, maybe half a gallon in there, but this is a good starting point. So we'll go ahead and let this drain into it. Part of the idea is this, with this funnel, now it's the highest point on the entire cooling system. So as it runs, any air that is in there should escape to this. So that's why I want to kind of keep it on here while I run this and cycle it through. We'll see how much we can fit in there. That looks like it. So we'll leave the plunger out. We're going to go ahead and fire the car up. We'll turn the heater on. We're going to let it run for about 10 minutes or so just to get warm. And then we'll check the level on it. So once we're in the car, go ahead and turn it on. You want to make sure your heater is set on full. I'll probably just leave it on the upper vents because that way you can feel it. What we're trying to do here, we want to open up the heater core as well, just to get any of the coolant that's trapped in there to cycle around as well. And then of course we'll repeat the process a few times until all of what comes out of the radiator when we drain it is just water. And then at that point we're going to add our concentrate. While we're running here, I poured the what coolant I drained out into the pan into this empty gallon jug of water here. I just wanted to see what it kind of looks at. We should get a look at it. It's pretty dark, which is not ideal, but that's why we're changing it, right? We want to get it, so it should be a nice kind of a lighter green color than this. And as we go along, I'll continue to drain out what I've got just so we can compare the progress. We're going from dark to light to clear because it's water, and then we'll add the concentrate in after that. We drained it out, filled it back up, ran it, got it up to temperature. We let it cool back off again. Give it about an hour or so just for cooling off. Let's go ahead and drain again. And this time we should pull out a diluted coolant mix. And we'll do this and we'll do the same thing all over again. Fill it back up, turn the car back on, run it up to temp, let it cool off. Just wanted to show what the valve is that we're looking for. It's kind of hard to see from here, but you should be able to see down there the opening. See some of the coolant. The opening that you access to get to the plug. And then if you just reach down, it's easy to get from the bottom. But if you reach there, there is just a simple little twist knob that you can do with your hands. And you'll feel it, you can just open it up. So hard to see, but it's there, and it's designed to be easy. I just finished draining out the coolant for the last time, and you can see pretty much what's coming out now is just straight water. So what I have left in here also will just be straight water. I went ahead, I already sealed up or closed off the petcock valve on the bottom. Again, located right here. And a little tot up, I can't get my camera in there, but there's an opening, of course. So I got that opened up. So now I'm actually going to fill up the car with a mixture of the coolant concentrate and distilled water. I'll show you how I calculate that. The coolant that I picked up here, again, this is the concentrate, so you'll need to add water to it. Basically the mix you're looking for is 50-50 distilled water and coolant. My Scion has a capacity for 4.4 quarts total. So I need to put 2.2 quarts worth of coolant in here, and I did the math on that. That works out to about 70.4 ounces. So I'll go ahead and use the little funnel here to get that put in. I'll go ahead and show you just how I quickly install this no-spill funnel. It's pretty easy. On this particular no-spill funnel, which was made by Palo spill-proof funnel kit, the green adapter is what works here. So you want to slide that in place right there. and then just put your little cap on top of it and get it all the way back over. You want to seal it up. I can go all the way to completely seal it. It tends to stick on this one. I'm going to leave it right here for now, and then we'll put the funnel in place. And you'll see here on the front, it's got ounce markings. So I wanted 70 ounces. I do have to fill up the expansion tank as well. So I think I'm going to put about 10 ounces worth in here, just by eyeballing it. And then I'll put 60 ounces of coolant in here. And that'll mix with the distilled water that's in the system. If I need to add any more, I'll just top it off with distilled water. Alright, so let's go ahead and pour this in here. Again, this is the concentrate. Like I said, I'll put 60 ounces this time around. I've got my little stopper in place so I can measure it in there. Cool, 60 ounces of the concentrate. That's a really nice dark green on that. Handle this stuff, you really shouldn't get this under your hands. You definitely don't want to drink it. It's dangerous. It could kill you if you drink it. So I'm going to use a glove just to grab that little stopper and let it drain into the car. And it'll just kind of bubble up like that. Sealed system. So the air is going to work its way out, which is what the funnel's for. And we're going to turn it on here in a minute. Let it bleed out that way. Really dark green stuff. That's how you tell the difference between that and the old stuff. It's not nearly as dark. It's not neon green like this is. Or forest green, I don't know, dark green. The old stuff's neon green, right? Slow, 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 come on. So we got 60 ounces in there. Like I said, I'm going to put about 10 ounces or so. Basically, I'm going to fill it up halfway to the full line with coolant. And then I'll add distilled water on top of that, so that way I got the right mix in there. And then we may just top this off with distilled water here, and then let it run for a little bit, just to get the air out. Okay, kind of eyeballed that one's a little hard to see, but I got about 50-50. Split between the coolant mix and the distilled water in there. Of course, that will just sit in the expansion tank for the most part. And then I topped off the spill-proof funnel with distilled water. So we have approximately 70 ounces of the coolant in here, so we should be good. I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to run it. I'll open up the heater for maybe about 10 minutes or so we can just try to get the air out, and then we should be good to go after that. We're not really going to go anywhere. We're just going to kind of let it idle here in the garage. We'll roll it out actually into the driveway slowly, but we'll fire it up. And again, mine's a stick shift, so the capacity on it was 4.4 quarts. I think the automatics are 4.8. I really suggest you check the owner's manual. If Toyota includes it, I don't think they do. I ended up looking this up in a Mazda 2 owner's manual. I think it's 4.8 with the automatic, but I'm not 100%. So just check that out. And then we'll get the heater turned on, like I mentioned. So heat all the way. AC. We gotta blow it up. Alright, cool. We're just gonna roll out here and let it get up to 10. What we're looking for, you see where the little blue icon is? That's our coolant temp gauge right there. Blue means it's cold. When it goes away, it means it's an operating temperature. And red is overheating. I've only seen that once, and the thermostat went out on this early on. So we just want to make sure we don't see any red here. Alright, so we've got this idle here for about 10 minutes. You can see the blue light's gone now. No red light there, which is good. If you put your hands here, you should feel heat. Again, because we have the heater set to turn on. And heat's a good sign because it means we got all the air, at least most of the air out of the heater core. Let's take a look here where we are under the hood. And water level didn't really go down much, which is kind of how I've been the entire time when I was going through this. So I feel pretty confident I got most of the air out of the system. There's plenty of pressure here on the upper radiator hose too, so yeah. So there we go. Coolant change complete. We are going to be good to go here. I'll go take it for a test drive, just make sure everything checks out okay. And I wanted to show you what I pulled out of it. So this was the first bit of coolant I took out. It's still really dark green, but looks okay. And then just as we progressively went through and did multiple changes with distilled water, it started really clearing up. So we got to clear right there. So 10 gallons worth. From what I could find online, again, because the Toyota didn't give me an owner's manual that said change it so often, it just said consult your dealer about intervals. But Mazda said for change of coolant at 10 years, 120,000 miles. I've had that car for 9 years and 123,000 miles, so right on schedule. And then anything after that, it's every 5 years, 60,000 miles. And honestly, if this is how it comes out, I feel pretty good about it. So normally I would be like, yeah, change your coolant more often. And no harm in doing that, right? But if this is how it comes out, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's that. I'll have more videos how to do other basic maintenance on this car as it comes up. And maybe some other cars too, like maybe that pickup truck right there that doesn't run. So thanks for tuning in.